We're going to talk a little bit about all the process that has been involved in building on a hill, building in the country, and building a metal building, Barndominium.
Our goal, not only to create our dream home, but also to help you learn from our experience and to avoid the pitfalls we might encounter along the way. But first things first, let's talk a little bit about what a barndominium is, because it's kind of a unique blend of the word barn and condominium, which is kind of misleading because it has nothing to do with the condominium. But it's a combination of the rustic charm of a barn with a modern comforts of a house, basically. Think of the spacious open floor plans and high ceilings and the cozy country feel. Our journey began with a dream that we tested when we first moved to California. We built a non-permitted small barndominium in our backyard. By the time we were done, though, with the project, we were only enjoying it for maybe about a few months before we decided it was time to move to the beautiful state of Tennessee. And then we arrived in Chattanooga with the stunning natural beauty and vibrant community. And it was a perfect setting for our second barndominium adventure. And this time we wanted to make it a better building and permitted, bigger and better than it was before. Where did we start with this crazy barndominium journey? Well, step one was making sure that building one is even possible in our area. First thing you have to do is some good old-fashioned Googling to see if barndominiums were even a thing in Chattanooga. And turns out they were, and you have to go by what the county's restrictions are and whether or not they are allowed. And the main counties here are Hamilton County and Bradley County, and there's some others that are surrounding in the area too. Turns out Tennessee is one of those cool states where you can build one of these structures in. But we just like to be extra safe, just to make sure that the county does allow this stuff when permitting this stuff before we put anything on the ground that's permanent. And they said yes. So see the links below for the building permit department of Hamilton County and Bradley County and things like that, so that if you are thinking of building one in this county as well, or just have some ideas on this, you can do it too. First thing we had to do was make sure it's possible. The second thing we needed to do was to find the perfect plot for our barndominium. We scouted various pieces of land, walking the lot lines, assessing trees that might need clearing, checking for potential views, and figuring out utility connections. At one point, we were so certain about a gorgeous property in Cleveland, Tennessee, complete with a house that needed to be demolished. We were even put in an offer, but negotiations fell through, and it didn't happen. But as fate would have it, we stumbled upon a gem, a nearly 10-acre plot in Hamilton County, complete with a small cabin that needed a bit of love, all with the budget of around $150,000. There was a catch, though. Since the parcel already had a home, we had to make sure that the county would allow us to build a second dwelling there. After some calls and green lights from the county, we sealed the deal and bought the land. Now, some of the things that you run into when you're buying land is, what if you have something called a flag lot? The flag lot is this lot that looks like it has a staff and then it spreads out at the end. Well, that little staff of the flag, I guess, also has to be big enough to have enough roads to go down it if you have a lot that needs to be split. So if you have more than one building on a property and you decide to split the land at the end of the flag, then you have to have 25 feet for every single road that goes down there. So if your staff of the flag is only 49 feet, you can't build two houses on it. That's the problem. Fortunately, ours was okay with that. And so we got approval and we got it permitted. All right, so we got the green light to build in Tennessee. We've snagged ourselves some land, and now it's time to get down to the nitty-gritty, planning out our dream home. Cue the drawings. We dove headfirst into the world of floor planning, and let me tell you, it was quite a journey. We turned to floorplanner.com for its user-friendly interface, and best of all, it's free. Or at least most of it is. We spent the week sketching, editing, debating, arguing, and resketching until we were finally happy and landed on a floor plan that we both really loved and enjoyed. Our barndominium was a standard 32 by 80 feet and a soaring 20 feet tall, featuring a 900 square foot garage and a 900 square foot recording studio and a spacious 3,000 square feet of living area, perfect for my wife and I. Inside, you'll find 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and a cozy office space. And hey, and before you fall in love with what we're doing, if you have any questions or just want to chat about your current build process or are finding some land that we found just like us here in Tennessee, drop a comment below or shoot me an email, a text message, or just reach out. I'll be sure to respond to each and every one. So what essentially is a barndominium? That seems to be the question of the video. It's essentially a steel frame or wooden frame building that is typically constructed on a large piece of land or exterior that resembles a barn, often featuring a metal roof and a large or open doors, while interior is designed for comfortable living, with features like living spaces, bedrooms, kitchens, and bathrooms. Each term, barndominium, is a blend of barn and condominium, like we said earlier, highlighting its dual nature as both functional living space and a nod to its architectural origins.
Not everyone goes with steel construction, and there's a reason for that. These are 2 1/4 inch square tubes that are making this whole thing happen. If I get closer to this, you can kind of see where these tubes go in. 2 1/4 inches, every single one of these things. Now we opted to go with the commercial style of square tubes that are 12 inches apart, but they're in the ladder style, so that this ladder reaches 20 feet into the air, all the way up to the ceiling. And so that really holds down the building. These ladder-like structures are required for anything over 30 feet. And we are just barely over that, 33 feet to be exact, 32 feet to be exact. And this is an interesting build, because not only is it a foot width here, but you also have these whole sections that have a header up here to allow those things to disappear for a little while. That's why you have a whole section that has a whole gap. If you look down here, whole gap all the way across.
Here are some different types of barndominium builds, because there are different structures that you can use to incorporate the barndominium structure into. Tubular steel barndominiums are constructed using steel tubes, which is much different than a pipe. A pipe is round, a tube doesn't have to be round. These type of constructions are often preferred for their strength and resistance to weather and pests. Another type is red iron. Red iron barndominiums are built using red iron steel framing, which is known for its strength and durability. This type of construction is popular for larger barndominiums or buildings with complex designs. But note that you need a lot more concrete in the ground for these giant steel red iron structures that go in deep into the earth. Pole barns. Pole barndominiums are constructed using wood poles as a main structural support. These types of constructions is often found more affordable than steel frame, but they may not be as durable in the long run. Another type is traditional home build. Some barndominiums are constructed using the traditional building methods, such as wood framing and brick or siding exteriors. These barndominiums may have more traditional appearance, but still feature the open floor plan and rustic charm of a barndominium. And finally, the hybrid. A hybrid barndominium offers a combination of elements of different construction methods, such as steel frame with wooden siding or vice versa. This allows for customization and flexibility in designing and construction. These are just a few examples, and there can be many variations and combinations based on individual preferences and what local building codes allow. Then we had to research the pros and cons to figure out which one we wanted to use. The tubular steel, its pros were that the strength and durability. Tubular steel is known for its strength, making it a durable option for barndominium builds. Steel is resistant to weather damage, such as rotting or warping, making it ideal for areas with harsh weather conditions. And pest resistance. Steel is also resistant to pests, such as termites, which can be a common issue with wooden structures. But there are some cons. Costs are a big issue. Tubular steel can be a little more expensive than wood, although cheaper than red iron, which can increase with the overall cost of the build. The complexity of construction. Building with steel requires specialized skills and equipment, which can add complexity to the construction process. Another option is red iron. The pros of red iron are strength and durability. Red iron steel frames is the incredibly strong and durable, making it ideal for large or complex barndominium builds. design and flexibility. Red iron frames allow for large open spaces without the need for interior support columns, providing flexibility in design. Some cons, though, for red iron is that the framing can be more expensive than others. Framing materials, which can increase the overall cost of the build and the complexity of construction. Like tubular steel, the building with red iron requires specialized skills and equipment, which can add complexity to the construction process. And also the concrete. You have to build these big structures into the concrete, which is expensive. Pole barns. Pole barn construction is often more affordable than steel frame structures, making it a cost-effective option for barndominium builds. Simplicity. The pole barn construction is relatively simple compared to a steel frame, which can shorten the construction timeline. But the cons are durability. Wooden poles may not be as durable as steel frame, especially in areas prone to weather damage or pests. Limited design options. The pole barn construction may limit design options as a large open space may require interior support columns. Another option is the traditional home build to make it look like a barn. Traditional home building methods offer a wide range of design options, allowing for more customized appearance. Traditional materials such as wood frames and siding can provide a more traditional look and feel. However, the cons are that the traditional home building methods can be more expensive than the other barndominium builds, especially for larger or more complex designs. Another thoughts are about maintenance. Traditional materials may require more maintenance over time, such as painting or sealing to protect against weather damage and pests. And finally, the hybrid has some pros and cons as well. Hybrid construction allows for a combination of different materials and methods, providing flexibility in design. It also might be cost effective. Depending on the materials used, hybrid construction can be more cost effective than traditional home building methods. The cons to using hybrids, though, hybrid construction can add complexity to the construction process. And the maintenance, like traditional methods, some hybrid materials may require more maintenance over time to protect against weather damage and pests. After doing our due diligence and research, we ended up using the tubular barndominium style because it would be cheaper than red iron, but also still made of steel so that it could withstand the test of time. And there you have it, guys. That's part one of our building a barndominium in Chattanooga. In the next video, we'll go over the actual process of building our dream barndominium, so stay tuned. And by the way, I'm a real estate agent, so if you're interested in moving to Chattanooga or just want to know about buying land in Chattanooga, or if you want to look for a land like we found, by all means, reach out to me. My number's on the screen here, and watch our next video because we have all kinds of videos about Chattanooga, and give me a shout. We're happy to hear from you, so that you can make that smooth transition to Chattanooga, Tennessee. And we hope to see you around town.
Check out this other video about Chattanooga. You want to learn everything you can about it, so click on this next video. Yeah, I promise you it's worth it.